Assalamu alaikum. How are you all? Hope we are fine. Today is our second class on Messy Mike. Before start the class, let's review on our previous class. Do you remember who was Mike and where did he live? Okay, let's see. Mike lived in Germany with his mother and grandmother. And where his grandmother lived? His grandmother lived in a small cottage near their home, and Mike went his grandmother's house to play in every week. Then grandmother gave him a needle and Mike put the needle in the hay cart and mother told to put in his sleeve. The next day, what did he do? Grandmother gave knife. He kept the knife in his sleeve, but mother told to put it into his pocket. And the third week, Mike took a puppy from his grandmother's house. He stuffed the puppy into his pocket, but his mother told puppy should have pulled it to a strong string. Before start the main story, we need to know some words. Drag, drag, pull along, pull along. Melt, melt, to liquefy by heat, to liquefy by heat. So melt is to liquefy by heat. Nibble, nibble, take a small bites, take a small bites. Stuff, stuff, push, stuff, push. So what is the meaning of nibble? Nibble is take a small bites. Melt, to liquefy by heat. Drag, pull along. Let's start today's class. Can anyone guess what can Mike do in next week? Okay, let's read the story. Next week, Mike took the puppy to his grandmother's house. After tea, his grandmother said, "Here is a piece of meat. Carry it home to your mother." Mike tied the meat with a string and dragged along behind him. The puppy followed Mike, nibbling the meat. When Mike got home, he had no meat. "You should have put it in a piece of paper and put the packet on your head," said his mother. Next week, Mike's grandmother gave him a pound of butter. Mike wrapped the butter in some paper and put the packet on his head. When he reached home, his mother looked at him and cried out, "What is all that yellow stuff on your head and back?" The butter had melted in the sun. "You are a foolish boy," said his mother. So, what we have read so far: first, his mother gave a piece of meat to Mike. Mike took the meat and dragged behind him alone, and the puppy nibbling the meat. And his mother said the meat should be wrapped in a paper and the paper should on his head. Secondly, grandmother gave a pound of butter and Mike, as his mother said, to wrap in a paper, so he wrapped in a paper and put it on his head. After watching this, his mother became very sad and addressed him as a foolish boy because the butter melted on his head and back. That's all for today. Next class, we have our revision class on Messy Mike. Read the whole story very carefully, and if you have any problem, please contact me on your prescribed day. Thank you.